Today, we're looking at a real-world application of the ESP32-P4 Touch Screen. Imagine having the power of a PlayStation or Xbox-style controller to interact with the world. Then combine that with an advanced touchscreen that allows for infinite controls, data feedback, and visualizations. This device is one we've been dreaming of for a variety of different projects. But today, we're using it to home, run jobs, change spindle speeds, go to pre-programmed positions, do X, Y, and Z probing. From there, load jobs, monitor them, and run a complete CNC job from a wireless controller and no computer. Let's dig in. We also have plans to use the same device to create a robust controller for our Dingo Quadruped robot. Today, though, we're using it to control our heavily modified Genmitsu CNC, which runs Fluid NC for its firmware. A huge thanks to the maintainers of that project. It has been a wonderful addition to the Genmitsu CNC. Also for Fluid NC, we are communicating over Wi-Fi, but for the Dingo Quadruped, we plan to explore using ESP now for a direct connection between this controller and the robot itself. In my mind, nothing is better than when projects compound on each other, and you can take the learning from the last project and apply it to something new. That's exactly how this device came into existence. We've done a review on the Waveshare ESP32-P4 Wi-Fi 6/7-inch touchscreen in a previous video. Then we did a video on how to use eStudio to create HMIs for touchscreen embedded devices. In that video, we didn't just want to use Fireside, our outdoor remote control for the trail current system, because many viewers have already seen that many times before. So we put together a fake GUI for a CNC controller. This was just to highlight the capabilities of using eStudio to design GUIs for these types of devices, leveraging themes, styles, glyphs, widgets, pages, and more. If you haven't seen that one, I'll put a link in the description down below. Once the video was done though, we couldn't just leave it there. I mean, the GUI was done, so why not go ahead and finish up the implementation? A huge shout out to Jason Yeager, who had already done a touchscreen implementation for Fluid NC. This provided the working knowledge and a baseline to start from. We quickly got our version of it up and running. However, I personally wanted a CNC controller that also had analog sticks. This makes it so much easier to navigate quickly, positioning the tool head wherever you want it. I have to admit though, my thought process was already ahead of the CNC project that I hadn't even finished yet, and thinking about the cool way to use these analog sticks to control our Dingo Quadruped robot. Then leverage the GUI for displaying status information, interact with the robot to initiate reinforcement learning scenarios, pre-program buttons to switch between gates. You get the idea though. Each project not only provides value of that project, but then also improves previous projects that you can revisit then later on. Back to the controller and the application of a GUI for the CNC. The ESP32-P4 is powerful. The Waveshare screen at 7 inches is the perfect size to sit in between the two analog joystick inputs. It has plenty of pins to run all of these. In fact, I started contemplating whether or not to add more physical buttons for e-stop, etc. But for now, I stuck with the core design since space inside the enclosure was already getting limited and assembly was already somewhat complicated. Then in our video about the Waveshare screen running an AI client, we had come across a MakerWorld project for an enclosure we really liked. We'd already modified that enclosure to meet the needs of Fireside, so once again, we leveraged that CAD work to jumpstart this case design. We expanded the sides out to make room for the two analog controllers, tried to figure out a power switch that wouldn't require any modifications to the screen. Spoiler alert, we failed on that one and ultimately resigned to soldering wires for our power switch. This meant that the power switch was easier to place right in the front face of the screen and made it quick and easy to turn the device on and off. Next up, we had to find a way to make the USB-C port available, both for programming and for charging the lithium battery that sits inside the case too. Round all the edges as much as possible for comfort, add fillets to ensure no edges cause discomfort while using it, then implement the code to make all of this work with Fluid NC. Ultimately, it resulted in a 3-piece case design. There's a main section where the screen sits and offers mounting points for each of the two analog sticks and the Waveshare ESP32-P4 screen itself. Then a backing plate, which serves as the mounting location for the 90-degree USB-C port we found on Amazon. This was actually much harder to track down than you would think. Link in the description. Then the battery attaches to the back plate using double stick tape, so it's easier to remove if needed. That solved the power switch issue, and we put it on the face of the device itself, allowing for quick access to turn it on and off. There is room on the back of the screen if you prefer to attach the battery there instead. As for quality of life improvements that are still in the backlog, an LED to tell whether the device is on or not. There is a short lag from when you push the power button to when the screen lights up. A lot of firmware checks for NVS happen before turning on the LED backlight, so sometimes you're not sure if it's on or not. Definitely physical buttons where space allows, and available GPIOs support them. We haven't used all the pins this screen has to offer yet. For the CNC, a physical e-stop switch would be a good use. We do have a touchscreen option on the display, but physical buttons would be nice too. For the Dingo robot, more physical buttons would mean more pre-programmed instructions. Like most projects, as soon as you get done with V1, ideas start flowing for V2, V3, on it goes. Now, how does this CNC tie back into improvements to microcontroller and SBC projects? Well, we love 3D printing, but there are some times that enclosures need to be aluminum to allow for passive cooling, or you just want it to be aluminum because it looks cooler. Then there's the fact that we use the CNC to perform edge cuts and drill operations on our prototype PCBs before we send them off to fabrication. And the big one. Trail Current is a platform designed to go into RVs, overland vehicles, trailers, and motorhomes. Our personal RV is a converted cargo trailer, and although it turned out great, it is far from perfect. We wanted the ability to improve that too before we start taking it to demonstrate Trail Current. So the CNC we've been looking at up until now isn't the only CNC. We are getting close to finishing our V1 engineering Lowrider V4. This will allow cuts to full sheet materials. So we can start to build cabinets, drawers, and other interior panels for the converted cargo trailer with perfect fitment. We also have plans to start building cabinets that embed some of the Trail Current modules right into the design of the cabinet for a cleaner install. There is never a shortage of projects. The ESP32-P4 is a powerhouse that meets many of our use cases. The Waveshare screens are really reasonably priced, and when you pull it all together, you get a wireless controller with capabilities that can be used for anything from a really cool RC car controller, a CNC pendant, or a fully functioning interface to a quadruped robot. This project, combined with Trail Current Fireside, highlights why I try to find the devices that I find. See, if a device is good for one project, that's great. But if you can take the learnings leveraged from getting used to that device and apply it to multiple projects, then you're reaping the rewards of that time invested. I also like to find hardware that I can stock up on so that I can buy multiple, keep them on hand, and I'm not waiting for a delivery or an arrival before the next project starts. So far, the Waveshare 7-inch screen is meeting that need perfectly. One for Trail Current Fireside, one for the CNC, and another for the Dingo Quadruped. So if you are into CNCs and just want to use the controller as is, the code and the CAD files are all in our GitHub repo. Link will be in the description below. If you want to use the Waveshare screen for a different project, an affiliate link will be in the description below. Costs you nothing, we get a small percentage, and it greatly helps the channel. Whatever your project is that you might be planning to use one of these screens, let us know in the comments below. We always like to see what other people are doing that's interesting and cool. The V1 Engineering CNC build will continue, so if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you get notified when we upload updates about that one. If you found this video helpful in deciding whether or not this screen was good for your project, be sure to give it a great big thumbs up. If you know of somebody else that would benefit from seeing this video, please be sure to share it on social media. And until next time, remember, it is your vehicle, your data, Wilderness Wired.